What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? Noah Gray here, tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Josh's channel and check out showmefootball.com for more.
What is up, Chiefs Kingdom? Welcome back to another video on my channel. My name is Josh Fan of showmefootball.com, covering your Kansas City Chiefs. And the Chiefs just grabbed their first win of the 2025 NFL season over the New York Giants on Sunday Night Football. There was some good. There was a lot of bad still. We're going to talk about it all right after this. Ladies and gentlemen of the Chiefs Kingdom, your 2025 Kansas City Chiefs are no longer winless as they defeated the New York Giants by a final score of 22-9 on Sunday Night Football. And boy, did this team need a win. You wanted to avoid the dreaded 0-3 start because the numbers actually behind teams that start 0-2 aren't very good. Actually, I made a video recently where I broke down the history of teams that have started 0-2. Only 1% of teams to start 0-2 have ever gotten to the Super Bowl. Less than 1% of those teams to start 0-2 actually ended up winning the Super Bowl. 0-3, it was basically impossible. And then you would have been like 3 games behind the Chargers, who have not lost yet. They beat the Broncos earlier today, so it just would not have been a good place. This team needed a win very badly, and they got one. Now, we can argue how good the win actually was, and that's kind of what we're going to do in this video. But I'll start off with the positives actually in this video, going through everything. I put some notes down throughout the game, and I wanted to start off with the positives first because I do think there were some encouraging signs in this game, although I think things still look kind of bleak on the offensive side of the football. That's going to be a lot of my gripes in this video. And actually, before I get into the positives first, I just want to throw this in here because my last few videos, I've been getting a lot of comments from people stating, I'm being super negative about the Chiefs right now and everything like that. And it's like, well, yeah, guys, they're winless and they don't look very good. And their season was on the brink of being finished tonight if they had lost the game. So I'm just being objective. I'm being honest. I wrote my raw thoughts down throughout the game, and I'm going to give those to you. So if you don't like them, cool. You can click off the video, but I'm here to give you guys objective analysis. So with all that being said, I put down the first positive. The Chiefs won a game. Already went over that. Another thing that I wrote down, and I think this needs to get shouted out first and foremost, is the defense continues to improve. This defense, we all thought, man, after that week 1 game against the Chargers, this team might not be very good on the defensive side of the football. And I think that's starting to look more like a one-off performance at this point because we saw that the Chiefs held the Eagles to 220 yards or something, the total offense. That hadn't been done in like over 2 years. The Chiefs defense was good in that game. I don't know what the whole thing was in Brazil. Maybe it just truly was like a situation where they couldn't even get off the bus, but the defense continues to look better. They only held the Giants to 9 points tonight. And I know people are going to laugh and they're going to say, Josh, it's the Giants and they're not a good football team, which I would have to agree. They're not a good football team, but this is a team that put up a lot of points last week. They have an electric wide receiver in Malik Nabers, and the Chiefs held Malik Nabers completely in check. I don't even think he had a catch until like the 4th quarter. And I put that in my notes too. I mean, you have to understand, guys, that this Chiefs secondary with a rookie cornerback in Noel Williams and Jalen Watson, who was coming off that injury from last year, they shut down Malik Nabers. And I thought the safety play was so much better than we saw even in the first couple of weeks. The safeties looked much better. Brian Cook, I thought, was having a really good game before he came out with an injury. Jamari Connor was a lot better. Still a couple plays here and there where I thought he struggled, but for the most part, I thought he was better. He was in much better position to make a play. The defense is getting better. It's getting there. It's starting to look more and more like a Steve Spagnuolo defense of the last couple of seasons. And I think that's something to build off of as you get ready to take on the Baltimore Ravens next on the schedule. Because we all know that's going to be a big challenge for this team. And that's going to be next Sunday, obviously. But yeah, I just think the defense, there's a foundation being laid right now. Other positives that I wrote down, Tyquan Thornton, it's no longer just a good story, folks. He is a player for this Kansas City Chiefs football team. He has gone from good story to a legitimate plus level receiver. He's a plus wide receiver for this football team. And even the plays where, he seems to come up just a bit short, it always feels like he makes up for it one or two plays later. And you can tell, and this is why I said in training camp and preseason, I called it then, that Tyquan Thornton was going to be a weapon for this team. And the number one reason I said that is because you can tell Patrick Mahomes trusts him. Like, Mahomes loves throwing to Tyquan Thornton. He's always looking for him on every play. And that tells me a lot when Mahomes trusts him. And really, even if you're not someone that's, impressed with Tyquan Thornton per se, I don't know how you couldn't be at this point, but let's just say you're not even really sold on him. You have to admit it's kind of amazing what they've gotten out of him so far, considering he looked like a complete bust with the Patriots. And it's almost kind of like you're reversing the Sky Moore draft pick if Tyquan Thornton just continues to be this good. And mind you, he's doing this while being the only wide receiver in the lineup that's worth a damn. So I think he's going to be even more dangerous once teams have to worry about Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy again. And then another positive that I wrote down, and I was really happy to put this one down, Kingsley Suamataia, guys, has improved vastly from preseason to now, from week 1 to now. Every week, it's an improvement for Kingsley. He went up against Dexter Lawrence tonight, one of the best defensive tackles in the NFL. There's a lot of Giants fans that want to tell you he's better than Chris Jones already. Regardless, though, Kingsley shut him down, and he got some help from Creed Humphrey, but Dexter Lawrence was not a factor in this game. I think he had one total pressure, and that was it. He did not wreck the game. Kingsley was a strong point in this game. I'm really happy to see that development from him. So things that were weaknesses at the beginning of the season are starting not to be weaknesses anymore, and that's a positive thing for this Chiefs team as they need to continue winning games. But I'll be real with you guys. Those are the only positives I wrote down from this game. I think I have a lot more to say for the negatives still. And don't get me wrong, there was encouraging signs, but we got to talk about the negatives. And that's going to be coming up right after this, after we hear a message from our partners on this channel. So let's check it out. Wanted to take a moment to shout out our partners on this channel over at W Energy. Guys, if you have not heard of W Energy, you're absolutely missing out right now. If you're someone like me that needs that jolt of energy when you first wake up in the morning, or when you're trying to take on a big task for the day, such as working out, or maybe trying to complete a project for school, anything like that, W is an essential. I'm someone that unfortunately has gotten into the bad habit of drinking a lot of caffeinated energy drinks filled with sugar or artificial sweeteners or flavors, but I'm trying to curb that now by using W Energy, which is a much better alternative. W is a powered energy drink that replaces other inferior caffeine beverages. It contains 0 harmful chemicals, 0 fillers, 0 artificial colors or dyes, and no proprietary blends. The star of the show is their coffee fruit extract, which helps you focus without the jitter or the crash of other energy drinks or caffeinated drinks out on the market. And they just sent me their Japanese yuzu flavor that I've been drinking recently. It is absolutely fantastic. One of the better tasting energy drinks that I've ever had. And I'm going to continue to use it and check out some of their other flavors as well. I encourage you all to do the same. And luckily for you, you can use my promo code SHOWMEFB by clicking the link down below and putting that promo code in when you go to checkout. And you can get an additional 10% off. Stop drinking those unhealthy energy drinks and start drinking W Energy instead. Go check out their stuff. They're going to be partnered with me all football season long. Go and check them out. So yeah, guys, definitely take advantage of that sale going on right now. Go and utilize the promo code down in the description. On to the negatives. First thing I wrote down, the Kansas City Chiefs still look extremely undisciplined and sloppy and just uninspired, particularly on the offensive side of the football. And you were watching this game, and the offense just wasn't, I don't even know how to, it's just super anemic. And a lot of it is the play calling. Some of it is just the lack of options right now for Mahomes as far as the skill positions go. And I'll have more to say on that here in a minute. But man, something just feels off with this team still. And the offense, I mean, you were looking at them and they had 6 points by the end of the half, and the Giants were driving. And you thought for a second the Chiefs are actually going to go into the half down in this game, trailing in this game, despite, I think, at that point in the game, winning the time of possession battle and the offense kind of doing some things well, but just like constantly shooting themselves in the foot. Like that was the biggest thing, right? And just the execution still is not up to par where it needs to be for this football team. And then you saw Travis Kelce, and I feel like this is necessary to point out, Travis Kelce and Andy Reid were getting into it again on the sidelines. This is becoming a constant now. And Andy Reid even body checked Travis Kelce, almost like a reverse of the Super Bowl where Kelce did it to Reid. This is happening way too much. This looks like a team that's unraveling at the seams. They at least looked like that at one point in this game. And then eventually they were able to put together a drive or two in the second half to kind of pull away a little bit. But let's keep in mind, guys, this is the New York Giants, and their defense is not particularly good. They can't stop the run. And I mean, I guess I will say the Chiefs were able to run a little bit in this game, but I just still thought Isaiah Pacheco missed a lot of holes, missed a lot of easy runs. Kareem Hunt was fine, but I mean, we've been over this over and over again. This just can't be your running back room in 2025. I was watching the New Orleans Saints get dominated by the Seattle Seahawks, and I was thinking to myself, go save Alvin Kamara from that situation. There's no use for him there anymore in New Orleans. Go and get someone that scares defenses out of too high, because it's just going to make Patrick Mahomes' life so much easier if this team has a running back. But more on that in just a little bit. Bad play calling, man. Like, I was watching this offense, and something that I thought of was, I think I'm at the point that I don't even feel better about getting Xavier Worthy and Rashee Rice back, because I don't even think it fixes everything. It'd be nice to get those guys back eventually, but there's just so much more wrong with this offense. It goes deeper than that. The play calling is bad, and Andy Reid has just been atrocious this season, guys. Like, let's just call it what it is. And I hate when we have to have this conversation, because I always feel like it gets blown out of proportion. There are Chiefs fans out there probably watching this video right now that anytime you say anything about Andy Reid that's not overwhelmingly positive, they're like, you're so ungrateful. What are you talking about? Guys, Andy Reid has been a bad play caller for 2+ years now. Let's just call it what it is. The screen to Kelce in the first half, a 36-year-old tight end who clearly cannot move anymore, and you're throwing a screen pass to him. Like, what is that? What is that decision making? And then the two plays where Mahomes tried to get rid of it to Pacheco in the backfield, and neither Mahomes nor Pacheco realized that it was a live ball. And luckily, Mahomes was able to save one of them and grab it back from the Giants player. That was a heads-up play by Mahomes, but Pacheco has no idea what he's doing. No one on offense really seems to know what is going on most of the time. And it is bad. And then I thought it was completely spineless by Andy to decide to punt on that 4th and 1 at midfield, and they were going to go for it. And then the Giants called the timeout, and the timeout caused Andy Reid to then not go for it. And I just thought, you are spineless. You don't trust your offense with Patrick Mahomes to get a singular yard against the Giants at midfield in a game that you should win no matter what. And this is a team that, again, the Giants, I mean, they've struggled to stop the run this year. So you should be able to run the ball against them. You should be able to muster a singular yard against them. But I still think the running game is mediocre. I'm at the point, guys, where I hope I'm not a bad fan for saying this, but I'm not rooting against our players, but man, I wouldn't want a game like this where Pacheco average 4.5 yards per carry for the Chiefs to now look at that and say, oh, the running backs are fine. No, they're not fine. You still need to go out and get someone. But I know how the Chiefs are going to react to that. They're probably going to cling to that performance from Pacheco, which was fine, but not great. And the other thing about the offense that I put down is it's really disappointing to see how this team clearly lacks juice at the skill positions. And we thought we were getting Jalen Royals back and healthy this week. Did he play a single snap? Like, not even out there as a decoy. Did he play a single snap? I mean, what's the point, man? Why didn't you just put him on IR if there was no plan for him at all to be involved? Because we're like 4 weeks in at this point, and I don't know. It's It's mind-boggling to me how Royals got nothing. We saw Nico Remigio before Jalen Royals. I really wish Andy Reid would stop the whole rookie wide receiver gotta earn it gimmick. Like, just let the young guys play, man. You're desperate at this point. Brashard Smith as well. We saw him a couple times, and he looked good. Like, he popped. Like, he has athleticism. He has juice, Andy. Use him. Like, we're all begging to see Brashard Smith, and we saw just a little bit of him tonight. And it feels like the Chiefs are just going to make this difficult, and we're just going to have to wait, even though you already know what the guy can do because you've seen just a little bit. The Chiefs have given us an appetizer of what Brashard Smith can be. Now let's give him some real carries at running back and see what he can do, because that guy has juice, man. He is he's fast, he's energetic. Like, I like him. I want to see more of him. More of the negatives. Pass rush is still an issue, in my opinion. You could argue they were okay tonight. And Chris Jones got a sack. Karlaftis got a sack. I'll have more on Karlaftis here in a second, but there were still quite a few dropbacks from Russell Wilson tonight where I thought to myself that you're going to go up against some better quarterbacks this year, where if you do give them that much time, they're going to make you pay for it. And Russell Wilson threw up a lot of prayers that ended up getting picked off or batted or were not in the vicinity of the target. But if you play a better quarterback, I think they're going to make you pay a little bit more. Pass rush has still got to improve, man. We're still needing someone to heat up there. And George Karlaftis, like, it feels like he's barely touched the quarterback all year. Touches him one time tonight, and it's a roughing the passer, clear roughing the passer. Can't have it. You paid this guy almost, $100 million. What was it, $64 million guaranteed. Really hope we didn't light that on fire, because I was just super disappointed in him tonight, because, man, he turns the corner like a school bus. He has zero bend at all, and it's just frustrating as hell to watch. And it feels like more often than not, he's kind of fallen into the Frank Clark, career arc where he just is lazy with his pass rush. He has one move, and it's a bull rush. And if it's not that, then he just gets completely washed out of the play and just runs upfield. I don't get it. It's not an inspiring pass rush. I'm just hoping we see more at some point, because I think the pass rush will continue to get exposed by better teams, better quarterbacks, if you're not applying a little bit more pressure. Harrison Butker, massive problem right now. I just wrote his name down. I mean, we all know what the problem is. He is missing too many kicks this year already that felt routine with him in the past. And I know the last extra point was not his fault, because Kareem Hunt got the unsportsmanlike penalty, which I thought was kind of stupid, because I didn't see anything inappropriate with the gesture that he made. We'll be curious to see, because I wonder if he'll get fined for that. But I'll be curious to see what happens, because I didn't see it. But regardless, Harrison Butker, these are still kicks that he routinely made in years past, and now he's not making them, and it's a huge problem. You just can't have, there's just too many mistakes still, too many self-inflicted wounds with this football team. And unfortunately, the biggest negative that I'm going to kind of end this review with is that I cannot in good faith pick this team to beat the Ravens next week. Even after this performance, I mean, Mitchell Schwartz, I saw him say something similar on Twitter right after the game ended. And, he's a guy that typically has been really optimistic and positive about the Chiefs. But I'll actually read you guys what he said, because I think it's important that everyone hears this. I should have been prepared with it, but here. He says, going to bed, don't feel any better about things. A barely win against a bad team and showing all the same issues. The one drive they accidentally ran 2 under center runs. They gained 20 yards and ended up scoring a touchdown. Until things change, it's going to be more of the same. Hard to disagree with them. And speaking of running the ball again, like, you look at the Giants, and despite Malik Neighbors not being a factor tonight, despite Russ being off and turning the ball over, they have a running back in Cam Scatabo that they invested in the NFL draft, and that guy still gave them a chance tonight. And the Chiefs struggled with him quite a bit. They struggled to bring him to the ground a lot. He had some nice runs in this game. Shows what happens, shows what you can do, or shows what it can do, when you invest in a running back. And the Chiefs just unfortunately have not done that. They don't seem to care about the position, and it's really, really hurting the offense right now that just cannot really seem to get anything consistent going. Oh, yeah, I missed one of my negatives. Jawan Taylor, yeah, nail his ass to the bench. I don't think any more needs to be said about that. He was horrendous again tonight. Not even just the penalties, but he was getting pushed back multiple times. You have a $15 million per year player sitting on the bench right now, and Jalen Moore that you brought in for a reason. I think it's time to see him. Matt Nagy acted like they were going to start holding him accountable. Well, let's do that. Let's nail his ass to the bench. That's my opinion. But yeah, no, I mean, to go with what Mitch Schwartz said and what I was going to say to cap it off, I cannot in good faith pick this team to beat the Ravens next week, which means you're staring 1-3 down the barrel. And that's a really dangerous place to be. The schedule does not get any easier. So these problems have to get fixed, and they have to get fixed fast, man, because otherwise, I don't know, man. I don't know. This season could go upside down really quick. And I hate to say that, but I'm just telling you guys what I see. And I see a team that is unexplosive on offense, that has an execution problem, and they can't get to the quarterback on defense. I mean, you saw the PFF grades when they were doing the introductions, and like everyone on our defensive line was in like the bottom 10 in PFF ranking besides Chris Jones. Like, it's just embarrassing. They need to do something, man, and they need to fix things quickly. But those are all my thoughts on the Kansas City Chiefs 22-9 victory over the New York Giants. Definitely let me know what you guys think down below, what your concern level is on a scale from 1 to 10 about the Kansas City Chiefs after this game. If you agree with me, disagree with me, let me know. But yeah, all that being said, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Some more Chiefs fans can find this. Make sure you check out my work on showmefootball.com for more. And last but not least, follow me on Twitter at ShowMeFB. That's all I got for this one. I'll see you all in the next one. And as always, go Chiefs.